Hey, how's it going? Welcome to this video where I'm going to share with you 5 of the key skills you need to be successful as an artist, and I'm going to show you the framework on how they stack together and how they all work together. I'm also going to show you why learning information and skills is sort of just not enough to help you advance as an artist, and hopefully this gives you some insight into how this all comes together so that you know what to focus on in your creative practice to make it go to the next level or to bring projects into fruition, if that's even a term. So here we go, let's just get straight into it. So you already know who I am, we've probably met or you've been on my email list for a while. And so you'll know that the thing I focus on the most is creative mindset. This idea that your mindset really is the key to 80% of your success. Knowledge, information, ability, talent, all of that stuff is really secondary. So this framework is going to sort of just show you more of that aspect and why it's the key thing to focus on. So this is going to probably be a pretty long training, but I want to give you as much as I can in this time, and thanks for being here and watching this. I hope this is really helpful, and I want it to be actionable, so at the end of this, you know, you're going to have something you can bring into your creative practice and do your work that's really important. So let's start with this. So here we've got one artist, and they come into contact with some information. So this information could just be a skill, or they might have watched a video on how to do something, a tutorial, or a teacher has shown them a new technique. So this information, it's just raw information, you know, it's just like, it doesn't have any magic powers on its own. And then this artist takes that information and they become really successful. So they integrate it, they build their skill level, and you know, then they're able to put that into their work and get it out into the world. Then we have here a second artist who has a really tiny head. They come into contact with the exact same information. So this is similar again, like the same technique or the same piece of information or video or, you know, lesson from a teacher, and they go on to fail. They go on and basically nothing happens. It doesn't get integrated into their practice. It doesn't translate into doing creative work. So what's the difference? So if you know anything about me, it's their brains, their mindsets. It's how they engage with that information. So this artist here, the second artist, they might be really open to learning, and as you might be, if you're watching this, you probably are, you're curious on how to get better and grow as an artist. So they might be really interested in learning, but their brain hits that information, or the information hits their brain, and it gets filtered through a number of filters. In the Creative Mindset Mastery Workshop and in the online course, I go through all of those filters, but the one I'll talk about now is associations. So we each have associations with everything in our world. So if I say the word birthday, you're going to have a certain type of association. So you might love birthday, so your associations might be birthday cake, lots of presents, hanging out with friends and family, you know, another year where you've had the opportunity to grow and learn. Another person, maybe this person, might have the associations that means I'm getting older, means that you know, I never really celebrated birthdays growing up, so they're not that important to me. You know, it's just another day on the calendar. And in this example, those two people will go off and have very different birthday experiences. The same applies here. So this information hits this artist's brain, and if in their mindset they have associations that say things like, well, this is a great piece of information, but I don't believe I'll be able to learn it that quickly. Or this doesn't really apply to me because I only work in this specific genre. Or they might think, well, it's a good idea, but it's just way out of the box and it's a bit too weird for me to implement. Something like that. Whereas this person, they might encounter that piece of information and go, this is unexpected, new information, but if I integrate this, I can see how it works in my creative practice. Or they might be excited about that it allows them to just grow and expand, and if they implement it, they feel as if they will be successful with it. So two very different outcomes with the same piece of information. And the reason I sort of have gone through this example is because most artists think that that a lot of skill comes down to the teacher you have, or the types of lessons you have, or what university you go to, and how you encounter that information. But information and knowledge basically does nothing unless you have the right mindset to sort of believe that it's going to work for you, integrate it into your practice, and take action on it. That's how you develop skill long term. So, so we really want to understand how the mindset works, what might stop you in your creative practice, and where mindset fits into this structure of having a successful creative practice. So I hope that's making sense so far. I'd love it if below this video there should be somewhere where you can comment. If you've got any questions or comments, let me know if this part's making sense and the part to come, and I will happily be in there and chat with you and clear up any things that aren't clear. So now I want to share with you, so this has a few different names, but I call it the holistic artist success stack. It's very hard to say, but it's very powerful when you discover how this thing's going to work. And I'm going to integrate it, I'm going to connect it back to what we just talked about with information, skill, and knowledge. So here comes the stack. Right. So hopefully all that's a pretty nice looking triangle, I gotta say. So let's draw this up. I think that's right. Now, most artists, like I've said, they focus on the tip of the iceberg. This really kind of is the tip of the iceberg. Artists very rarely go below here. So this here, this area, is skills. So you might want to write some of this down as well. So it's skills, knowledge, and information. Hope that's all in the camera, you can see that. So this area is skills, knowledge, and information. Now this is really important. It's part of this holistic success stack, but it's not everything. But when I discuss this, when I explain this, this is really important. So I'm not discounting that you need to develop your skill, you need to learn new tactics, you need to find a mentor or a teacher to constantly be growing your skills, because ultimately that's where your creative flow and creative expression is going to come through. When you have more skills, you have more tools in your toolbox, tool belt, you can then sort of express yourself more authentically and all that sort of stuff. And so a lot of artists spend a lot of time and a lot of money focusing on this area, predominantly focusing on this area. And this is where I'm kind of going to explain that it's the tip of the iceberg, and we need to start shifting resources of time and money to other areas so that you can develop a holistic art practice. So, the next section is what I call artist routines. So this section is about artist routines. So it's okay to learn information, but if you don't have any routines, like either a daily practice or a weekly practice or a planning process that helps you actually take action, this is really an area about taking action. And this is about taking action on these things. This is how you integrate skills, knowledge and information, is through developing routines. So if your art teacher, whether it's like a music teacher or someone you're learning from, they're gonna show you some techniques and skills and knowledge. But the only way they're gonna be integrated is if you develop artist routines. So some of the routines that I integrate into my practice is a really clear morning routine that sets up my mindset and puts me in a creative state of mind so that I can get on to doing creative practice and drop into creative flow quite quickly. A daily practice of my main skills. So in my life, they're singing and songwriting. So having a daily practice, daily routine of that helps to integrate that into my life. So there's a lot more to talk about there. There's also an evening routine that I have, which integrates what I did through the day, puts me in a state of feeling gratitude for myself for taking action, and then planning the following day. So there are some routines right there that you can start to think about. Then here we've got what I call the artist vision and mission. All right. So the artist vision and mission is about developing a really clear vision of where you're going, not just over the next couple of weeks, but maybe over the next couple of years. Where is this all heading? What do you ultimately want to achieve in your creative practice? For some people, this is just to have, to implement some of these routines and just be connecting with your creative work. And some people want to win Grammys and win the Nobel Peace Prize through their art and have a huge creative vision. And I am biased towards having a big and exciting vision for your creative work, because a big and exciting vision is going to motivate you to take action. A small, humble, boring vision it's not really going to get your juices flowing. So when I work with artists, we work on building a really clear and exciting, bold 5-year vision. And then mission, and another way I talk about mission is I talk about deeper purpose. So these things really go together. So what's your vision and why is that so important? What's your deeper purpose? What are you trying to ultimately achieve with your art? So winning a Grammy is one thing, but maybe that's even just a stepping stone to maybe the mission is that you want to express yourself purely in the world and achieve your highest potential. That's like a pretty big, grand vision. And then we link those together. How do the vision and the deeper purpose sync up together? And once you put them together, they lock in beautifully, and that's really energizing. So that's the next part of the holistic success stack. Now let's go to the next one. So this is, I'm just going to write it in here. So this one is artist identity. So your identity is the strongest area of the human personality. So we always conform to our identity of ourselves. So if someone has an identity of kind of being a loser and not being able to achieve very much, then they will never step out of that identity because that'll feel too incongruent. So developing an artist identity where you feel like, I am here to be a creative person. So it may not be what you feel like yet, but developing the artist identity of who you are deep down. If you're a creative person, if you're watching this video has already been going a little bit, you're obviously interested in activating your creativity and bringing that out into the world. So if you're watching this right now, you are an artist. You're a creative person. You have a desire to bring that out into the world. And so it's not about fake it till you make it. It's actually about being authentic. This has nothing to do with being fake. It has to do with peeling away your preconceptions about who you are and who you need to be that's actually been layered on top of who you really are deep down as an artist. So like I said, if you're watching this, you are an artist, you're a creative person. Accountants usually don't get this far into a video like this. So if you're interested in this, it's really important to develop the artist identity. So the reason it's very powerful is, like I said, we all conform to our identity. The reason that certain genres or types of people wear certain clothes is because they adopt an identity. So if we just say punks know when they get up, if they're a punk, they know they get up and they wear a certain type of outfit. They probably don't wear like a suit and tie because they're punks. And if you're a CEO of a business, there's an identity there. And so a CEO, they get up in the morning and they know what they're going to wear. And these are unconscious sort of decisions we make. But it's also who we hang out with, what type of music we listen to, what type of political affiliation we might have. So identity is very powerful. So that's the next part. So I just want to keep connecting all of this. When you are clear on your artist identity, that's going to inform your artist vision and mission. This is simply derived from this. And this becomes an easy thing to do. Most people really struggle with this, but when you know this becomes quite easy. When you know this becomes very clear. And when you know this, you know what skills, knowledge and information you need to seek out. So you don't, it becomes less random, just like learning things and going, oh, I'm going to go to this workshop on flamenco guitar and now I'm going to go to this songwriting workshop, by this other person. When you're really clear on this, you get this, and then this becomes really clear and targeted and motivating and much better. So, that's that one. Let's go to the next one. So, this is my favorite. Alright, creative mindset. So, creative mindset, if you're not familiar with this idea, creative mindset is the blueprint in your mind about what you're able to achieve, who you are, what might hold you back, your associations, like I mentioned before, your perception of the world, what your mind pays attention to and doesn't pay attention to, what your mind will focus on, how you feel about yourself, your self-concept. So mindset is the foundational piece. And that's why I focus on this, and that's why, you know, it's a big piece in this success stack, is really getting the creative mindset right, because that allows all of this to happen. So with artist identity, as I was talking about that, you may have been saying, yeah, I'm an artist, I'm amazing, and I want to go out into the world and make stuff happen. But if you had any resistance there, if a part of you was like, oh, no, I can't call myself an artist, I'm not an artist, I just draw stuff and, you know, I do a bit of stuff, but I'm not really an artist, then doing some work with the creative mindset is what's going to unlock this, and it's going to unlock this, unlock this, unlock that. So creative mindset, one example that I can give you now, if you want to do an exercise to help uncover some of this and to help resolve it, we can do it right now in this video. If you get pen and paper, hopefully you're already drawing this up and taking heaps of notes. The first question, I'm going to give you two questions to work on. One is, art is ... And I want you to fill out as many associations, so this is an associations exercise, as many associations that come to mind. So these can be positive and negative. So you might have art is stupid, art is fun, art is for losers, art changes the world. So you're going to have a mixed bag of associations. The idea with this exercise is not to overthink it. Just allow anything to come up and just write it down. All of these answers are correct because it's just coming from you. And every person has a different set of associations. So you can do that right now. Just write out what your associations are when you finish a sentence, art is ... So that's one exercise. The next exercise is to answer the question, when I'm deeply in my creative work, I feel ... So you might answer that a couple of different ways, but I'm guessing they're mostly going to be positive. So when I'm deeply in my creative work, I feel bliss, I feel connected, I feel expressive, I feel energetic, I feel like I disappear. Anything. It's totally, it's your experience. So you get to write out whatever works for you. So fill out those two things, either right now as I'm talking, or once this video is over, check that out and go through that exercise. So this is the creative mindset. Those two little pieces there, they're two of the questions that I use in the 2-day workshop. But there are many others to unlock many different areas of your mindset to get awareness. Because the reason people don't get what they want is they don't know what they want. And so we need to get awareness of what's going on in your mindset. And once you have awareness, then you have the possibility of changing things. So there's also a number of exercises of what you can do with those answers that are going to help to start shifting your mindset to a really positive state around art and around how you feel as an artist when you're doing your creative work. But that's a pretty good start. If you start on those, you might start to get a sense of sort of what's possible when you get awareness of how you feel about art and yourself as an artist. So that's creative mindset. So to again integrate it into everything, the creative mindset, once that is clarified and clear, this will unlock your artist identity. That's going to unlock your artist vision and mission. That's going to unlock the artist routines that you need to put in place to achieve that. And then that's going to allow you to integrate skills, knowledge, and information in a way where you integrate that 10 times faster and it's 10 times more relevant to your vision and achieving your goals. So I hope you like this framework. When I came across this framework and developed it a bit more, it gave me a framework of where to focus my attention more. So realizing that to build this up, you really need to start from the bottom up and then focus on this. So again, when it comes to investing time and money, I recommend you start here and start moving up, and then skills, knowledge, information, equipment, material, gear, new fancy whiz-bang technology is up here. Because it's really likely that you have all the skills, knowledge and information you need right now to develop really great work. And the thing that is preventing that is all of this from down here. So this is what's worth focusing on. I think about this like if you're building a house, you start with the foundation. This up here would be like painting the walls and hanging curtains and, you know, putting up pictures. And that's where a lot of people like that bit because it's kind of fun and immediate, but that can only really happen in your creative career if you build it from the bottom up. And that's what I focus on. That's why I call it a holistic artist success stack, because this part is just not enough. Skill is just not enough. Talent is not enough. We really need to build it up. So I hope that's really helpful. That's about it for this video. I hope that you'll get in touch with me. Let me know what you thought of this. Let me know how it integrates with what you're doing. If you'd like to learn more about this, about creative mindset, about the online course or the workshops, either get in touch or I might have some information below here. And I look forward to hearing from you. And I hope that you have a great week going out there and creating your work, your important creative work. The world needs it now more than ever. So I want to encourage you to take this and integrate some of this into your practice this week. Try and come up with some routines, try and come up with a vision, try and work on your identity and go through those 2 questions. I really want to see you succeed. So yeah, please reach out if you need anything. If you want to go deeper into any of this stuff, check out the links and the buttons around here. And I look forward to catching you soon. Remember that your art matters. So go and create. Bye.